We're here on my biggest win with one of my favorite personalities in golf, a man who I owe a lot to, as you very well know. I,
Yes, I do know.
I owe you a lot. We can get into that in a second.
Yeah,
But a man that is never afraid to speak exactly what's on his mind.
you got
A,
that right, baby.
a man who has always played his heart out on the course, is honest in every way, and somebody that I always love hanging with no matter what the situation. And Pat, I'll tell you this. You are a legend. You will always be a legend. You were born a legend. You are one of a kind. And I want to recount November 13th, 2016, at the OHL Classic at Mayakoba and that spectacular victory that you had. To set it up, you had shoulder surgery, and you knew you had shoulder surgery because, you finished in the 14-15 season. You finished 45th on FedEx, 1.5 million in earnings. You only missed 4 cuts in 22 tournaments. And then something happens, 15, 16, and in 11 tournaments, you miss 8 cuts, and your earnings were $47,000, and you end up missing the rest of the season with a shoulder injury. I'm a little bit of a math guy, so I was actually talking to Colt Nose just about what the costs are per week. So you go 11 tournaments and you make 47 grand. What do you think you spend a week on the road? 5,
Well,
10 grand?
but it's a whole. We don't spend that much. I try to get a house for me, H and Drew. Usually, it's just us on the road, and
Yep.
with H and everything. Yeah, I'm probably 5,000 a week
Yeah. So if you think,
anyway. As a whole.
if you think, yeah, 11 tournaments, it's minimum 55 grand of just straight costs. My point being, you go 11 tournaments, you miss 8 cuts, you're in the hole, and the game's not looking great. And then
No.
you realize you have shoulder surgery, and you're at that point, you're 40 years old, and the body doesn't bounce back like it used to.
No, hell
Um,
no.
from the conversations that we had, you've always been truthful. You've always been honest with yourself. You've always been honest with people. We had a conversation or two in there where you were like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how I'm going to bounce back from this. Like, I don't know where this
No
is going to be. You just didn't know. And I distinctively remember having, one small conversation with you and really feeling your, I wouldn't call it, it wasn't anxiety. It was just, hey, we don't know. And I have no idea. And I can come back and this medical exemption could, give me X number of starts. I miss all the cuts. And I don't, and you told me, you're like, I don't know if I'm going to go do, web.com. I don't know. So give me the mentality where you were at while you're missing the cuts and you were unsure of why, you knew you had some kind of injury, but where your head was at while you were missing cuts. And then when you find out that you have to have shoulder surgery.
Okay, so it started. It started when the fall schedule started up. This one we were starting up the new fall, and I didn't really feel right. I was grinding. I couldn't get something. Drew and I were trying to get something going, and I knew at the end of Mayakoba, that something was wrong. But I didn't go get an MRI. I just thought, okay, well, I've got 6 weeks off. I'm gonna just let it rest and then dump. And I got to Hawaii, and it still didn't feel right. And then I played. I'm like, you know what? I got a problem, but I got to try to get my card. If I can just play the West Coast where I always play well, get my card, then maybe I can take a break and then move on. Because I didn't have any status. I was year to year at this time. So
Yeah.
I let it go way too long. I let it go way too long. No MRI, no thing. Just like not wanting to deal with maybe that I got to quit because I didn't want to quit. I didn't have time to do this. So not at 40, especially, and so I'm playing the Honda. I go, I'm going to try this West Florida swing. And because I had all these starts, I didn't want to get rid of them, because once you come back medical, you're so limited. I'm like, man, I could play every year or every week of the year and hopefully get this done. So I'm warming up on Friday at the Honda, and my arm is shaking like this coming down. I'm hitting balls and it's shaking. I'm like, I said, I said, we got a problem. I said, we got a real problem. I said, I'm not a doctor, but I know that doesn't feel right. And I missed the cut. I actually had a chance to make the cut. I missed the putt at the last hole. I missed the cut. And I thought, you know what? I went to that party that's right there off that deal, and I just knew something was wrong. And I just thought, I'm just going to kind of avoid it now. So I get home, and I go in for this MRI, and it's sure as hell, it's a torn labrum right here. The doc goes, you gotta have it cut. You gotta fix it. I go, there's no way to fix it. He goes, no, you you fix a tear, you gotta fix the tear. I go, holy shit! Now I gotta sit down. So I go in for surgery March 8th, and 2016, and come out, and I was in a sling for a month, and I just thought, who the hell knows now? Because three things happened with surgery. I've had a lot of friends that had surgery. One, you got to find the right guy. Two, you got to hope he does a great job.
Yeah.
And then three, more than anything in the world, you've got to be able to recover from that.
Yeah.
If your body doesn't recover from it, then it doesn't matter. You could be healed, but if you can't get going again, it doesn't matter. So these are all questions. At 40, I'm thinking, man, I'm kind of right in the middle here. I've already played a bunch of years, but I want to play till 55, maybe 60. I can't be done. There's no way it can be done. And I come out, and the first ball I hit, it didn't hurt. It was just a chip like 10 yards. This is in May. This was actually pretty fast after when I just hit one ball. And then we get to June.
Because you had the surgery March of 16.
March 8th, 16.
Okay.
So we get down. So I go and I do all my rehab and all that stuff. And this guy is beating on me. The hardest deal, because you got to break up all this scar tissue here. Because it's the only way to do it. He's got a 110-pound bar. He's rolling on this thing. And they would take this band and pull my arm in all these directions. Bro, I'm in the kind of pain where you think you're going to faint.
Right.
You're like, it's sweating because you actually think it's like a joke. There's so much pain, you think it's like you're going to wake up and it's not going to be real. This was real. This went on for 2 months. Bro, I'm telling you, in the end, this shoulder's going to be incredible. When I get done with it, his name is Brian Trotter, my guy. He fixed me. And so I get out there in just about June. And I'm planning now. The only reason I'll tell you, I'll get into this a little bit, but I was hoping to get a start in Malaysia. And the funny thing about this whole thing, I'll get to in a little bit, but I was planning on starting from Malaysia. So my guys are trying to work on getting me into Malaysia. So I'm starting to hit balls in June, and that's obviously October. That's the first week in October. So start hitting balls in June. Feels pretty good. Get it going. Feels pretty good. I got no pain, this and that. And then bang, I get a call from Callaway. The two clowns that run that, one guy got fired, thank God. The other guy's still there, unfortunately. He calls me and goes, hey, Pat, it was 30 seconds. Hey, Pat, what's going on? Glad your surgery went well. Just let you know, we're not giving you a contract next year. He goes, we got some new guys, new young kids that we're going after that, we want to take over. So, we appreciate it. And thanks. Literally 40 seconds.
God. And you've been with Callaway for how long?
I've been with them for a while now, and I was planning on coming back, using their stuff and this and that. And, and I'm thinking, every name in the book, I was calling these guys. And I called Keith Barbaro, TaylorMade, and I called the guys at Titleist, and I said, hey, I need a ball, I need a driver. And then I was trying to get a hold of Matt Rollins to get the PXG irons, but they were so new, they weren't just giving them out yet. So I come home, and now I'm so pissed, and I'm so motivated now to come back. I can't even tell you. I was like, you know what? Everybody dropped me. Everybody dropped me except MGM and William Murray. William Murray kind of built their thing around me, and MGM stuck with me. And so it finally comes around. I get the spot in Malaysia. And I go, okay, sweet. So with the way the medical works, you can play 4 days where it doesn't affect your medical. So you can play 4 and then decide if you want to continue on.
Okay.
So I'm like, this is sweet. I'll go play Malaysia. It's a 4-day, no cut. I'll go over there, get some points, see how I do, and then come back and see if I want to keep going. So I go over there. I didn't play great. And
so if you play those 4 days,
you can actually –
but you take the money and take the points.
What they do is they dock your – you only get $10,000 a month for the medical anyway. Well, now, up to this point, the tour had changed because so many guys have scammed the system on the tour. You have to wait basically 7 months and 20 days before you get a check. So my entire medical, after only making $47,000, my entire medical, I only made $18,000.
Because you started right at like that 7th month mark?
Yeah, started 7 months, and it was unbelievable. So they take out $2,000 for those days, $500 a day they take out. So I come back and I'm like, all right, so I made like $33,000. I got some points. I'm like, you know what? I feel pretty good. I think I'm going to go for it.
So now let's say you decide to not go for it. Let's say it hurts. You keep the money and the points, and then when can you play again?
Whenever you reapply, and then the medical continues and you just keep going. You keep going. But we'll get to the funny part of that. So So I come home, I feel pretty good. I got a week off. I go, okay, I'm going to Vegas. So I finally get a hold of Matt Rollins. I said, bro, I got to let me get these irons. I got to get every damn Callaway, anything out of my bag. I don't want a shirt. I don't want a hat. I came home, I threw everything away at Callaway. Everything. No, I don't have one Callaway thing around the house. If I see it, I cut it up and I throw it away. I hate Callaway more than anybody on the planet, and I've made that, known about everything I know. Everything I've done, my radio show, every interview, Callaway, if they dropped off face earth, I wouldn't care. So I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care about any of them. They're such pricks. To drop a guy in the middle of his medical, coming back, who's been loyal, and who's done, and you tell me you're going to go after some young kids while the guy's trying to come back. I mean, what kind of people are you? Literally, what kind of people is that? I don't want. It's fine. It shows me who they are. I don't want to be around them anyway, and I don't. But they have. I still have some great friends that are reps for him.
Yeah.
That'll always have like Johnny Thompson, and these guys. They're just awesome. So that's an unfortunate thing. But anyway, so Matt gives me a set of clubs. I started them. I go, man, these are unbelievable.
And this is right after Malaysia.
It was right after Malaysia.
Okay, so you played Malaysia with Callaways.
I was in, I still have the irons, unfortunately. Okay. And I come back, and I get 3 sets of irons. I got all 3 sets they had. So I show up to Vegas. I got 4 sets of clubs. I got the Callaway, and I got all 3 PXGs. And we whittled out one on Monday. And then, so we keep going, and I go, Drew, I said, bro, these things feel unbelievable. I said, look at it. They're going a club farther. I can use that. I would love a club farther. He goes, well, what do you want to do? So now I had the TaylorMade driver, Titleist ball, and PXG irons. I had actually everything I wanted.
Yeah.
Everything I wanted. Everything. And I go and finish 7th that week.
Wow.
So I make like 145 grand or something. So me and Coke Rack, everybody, we go to Hakkasan like I just want to ask. I mean, I am housed. Housed beyond belief. I was so drunk, celebrating like we made money, we got points, we're back, we're coming back. And so then I played the MGM program the next day, and they fly us down in that Airbus 319, sickest plane, unbelievable. Get down like 2:40 in the morning, bro. I'm so hungover, I feel so horrible, and get down there, and that's my Mayakoba week.
Oh
I'm
no!
still playing good. Sunday afternoon, I win that tournament.
Oh my God! So you came into Mayakoba all dinged up from the week before. This top 10.
Because I thought I just won. I finished 7th, my bro. We're flying again, this and that. And all of a sudden now I'm leading the FedEx and I'm leading the money list.
Oh my God!
And the funniest part about the whole thing. So the agents I had couldn't get me into Malaysia, but Carlos and Eric, who I'm with now at Impact Point, they got me the spot because they knew Todd Reinhardt. Todd Reinhardt will always, if that guy's house went on fire, I would buy him another one. Because if he didn't give me the spot, I'm not shitting you, if he didn't give me the spot, I wasn't going to start that year until Sony.
Oh, really?
That's what's so amazing about the story that nobody really knows is I wasn't actually going to play Vegas or Michael. I didn't want to waste starts because I only had 15 starts.
Right.
So why waste 3, in that stretch? And then, because that only gives me 12 after the new year, and I always like the West Coast. I'm like, I want to be able to pick and choose. I want to stretch the year out as far as I can. And I go 33rd, 7th, win. And then at the end of it, and then I finished 3rd at the Century. Yeah.
Oh my God, I had no idea.
So that's what people know. People don't care about stories like mine, but
no, that's an unbelievable story. I mean,
that's an unbelievable story to think that. Obviously they care about Tiger, and they should because, he's the sport and everything. But there are stories like this out here on the tour that people don't know and the media don't care because you're not a big enough name for anybody to care. But that kind of story, you talk about changing a life. If Tiger wins, Memorial, it doesn't change his life. Well, this year it would because he'd have 83. But, if he had 5 wins already, if wins Memorial, it's not a really big thing because he's still Tiger. Even if he had 60 wins. It's not a big thing. It just gets with the big number. But for someone like me in my position at 40 years old with no status, coming out of medical, been dropped by everybody, coming out of that, have no idea if I'm going to be able to play again ever, to go through what I went through and then win my 3rd tournament back and go into the offseason leading the FedEx and the money list. And not deciding I wasn't even going to play. I was not even going to play. If I didn't get that spot in Malaysia, I wasn't going to play. And then what happens? Then I go back around and go win Malaysia.
The next year in 2017.
So I get the spot, and then I win Mayakoba, go back around, and then bang, win Malaysia.
Wow.
I
Wow.
mean, and then of course they got rid of the tournament, so I can't go back anymore. But
Because you burnt
it,
it to
it
the ground. You
but
mic dropped it.
it's a story. There's a story that's great on multiple levels. One, I can't remember the last time someone came back off a medical, not like Tiger. He's never on medical. Okay,
Yeah.
but he's had surgery, stuff like that. He doesn't even count for anything anyway. He's so above anyway. It doesn't even matter. But a medical, come back and win
Yeah.
with only multiple starts. Guys are so worried about trying to keep their job off medical. I mean, look at, you got James Hahn. I think he's getting pretty close to it. Chappell's come off medical. I mean, I've had more friends come off medical that are trying to keep their car. They don't win their third start back.
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't even know.
They're happy to make cuts and, top
Oh,
25.
bro, they're happy to win. They're happy just to get going. But, I'm not much of a historian on the tour, but I know it's a really, really small number of a
Yeah.
guy that's back off medical and won, where he was fighting for his status. Tiger's got lifetime status. Phil always got. Well, that's the amazing thing about Phil. He's never been hurt. I told him that at Players. I said, bro, something that never gets talked about in his career is the fact he's never been hurt. Think about that. Play 30 years.
Unbelievable.
It's incredible. People don't talk about that enough, but there's another great story. But yeah, a true medical where a guy, doesn't have status next year, comes back fighting for his life, and then wins in his medical is very rare.
And would you say because people just play so conservative in nature when they come back, number one, trying to protect their body, number two, they're just trying to rack up points, because when you come back on those 15 tournaments, you just have to put up what, 800 grand or 700 grand or whatever the number is, right?
You got to do it all. I mean, look at Colt. He had to do the whole show. And like a kid like Kevin Steller, perfect example. He hasn't even made a cut yet.
Right.
He got so screwed because he won, and then he got hurt right after, and he missed all the big stuff that he was going to get in next year.
So they don't give that back to you?
No. And that's another thing people don't know about medicals is if you win, let's say you win and you have to go on medical, you don't get that same status coming back.
Really?
You don't get an automatic spot in the sense where you don't get the master. If you don't get it that year, you're out. Like he missed 3 years. So he missed his entire status, the win that he had for that year, and then the 2 more years, he missed that whole thing.
Oh, God.
He's back on a medical as like number 125 and a half.
Oh, my God.
Timing for him was horrible. I feel so bad for him because I've known him since he was, this tall.
Yeah.
He's such a great guy, but it's horrible. But these medicals, people don't understand, but people don't care. They don't care. They want the big story. What's Tiger doing? What's Phil doing? This and that. These medicals are real stories.
Yeah.
People that go on and off and try to, get on back on tour and this and that. Those are the guys that really have the stress of life.
When you're sitting on that medical and you have an injury, you guys clearly, once you make it on the tour, life is really good. But when you shut it down like that and revenue becomes zero and you get dropped by sponsors, which we know happens, or they renegotiate those deals, and now you're at 30% of what you had before, and now everything's incentive-based, or however it's restructured. They restructure all the time, every 2 years. What are the real just like personal fears, like when you're sitting there and your arm's in a sling?
It's like it's easier. It was easier for me at 40 because I'd already built enough in retirement that I could have gotten to 50 with let's say I couldn't play for 5 years, but I could come back for the champ tour. I'd already made enough to where I was going to be ahead of the number. But if I had to dive into my FedEx plan or something like that, I could get by for the 5 years. Now I couldn't have bought this house I'm in now, but you're sitting on the couch, you're just thinking. I drank a lot, so I had to. It's the only way I could get through it because your mind, you're just literally sitting there looking out the window going, what am I going to do if this arm doesn't work in 5 months?
Right.
And you think about, the reason mine was fast. I mean, for me, think about what happened to me. I went in and had surgery and won 7 months later. I mean, think about the ups and the downs in that 7 months. I go in, I call it, I go, my arm's dead. I can't do it. It's torn. I got to go in for surgery. Career may be over.
Right.
7 months later, getting on a plane with a check for $1.2 million. And then by that time I've made 1.69 in 3 events. where I didn't know if I was going to make another dime going. I'm laying here. I'm watching. I looked up at the dock, and the last thing I thought is, please just let this go right somehow.
Right.
Let me be able to play again. And then that's all I remember. I woke up, and I was in a sling. And then I spent a month on the couch in horrible pain. And the rehab was horrible pain. And I'm like, God, just let me try it again. Let me have another try at it. And then 7 months later, I've made it $1.6 million. I'm leading the FedEx, leading the money list. And I just cannot believe I got on that plane.
Right.
I didn't even really drink. When I won Mayakoba, we went to dinner. Ashley and I went to dinner with Taylor and Joe from Mayakoba, and we went to Harry's for dinner. I didn't even really drink because we were leaving the airport at 4 a.m. But I just sat there going, I cannot believe what has taken place in the last 7 months. I went over it. I'm thinking, here I am going under the knife, never know if I'm going to play again. How am I going to pay bills? How am I going to do this? I want a child. Am I going to be able to support that child in the future? What am I going to do? Because 40 is not a time you're done unless you've got $200 million.
Right.
Like Rory and all these other kids are going to have. They're not going to have to worry about this. But for a guy like kind of a journeyman guy who averages, $1 million change a year on the tour, and what expenses are like, that doesn't go very far. It's just the most amazing thing. But the biggest thing about the whole story is that people don't know is that I wasn't going to play any of it if I didn't get the spot in Malaysia.
Unbelievable.
So now let's say I start in Sony. Am I going to win one of those? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, again, you just don't know. I mean,
You'll never know.
Ever.
So, and then so let's say I do that. I played those 15 events starting in Sony, and I only make $500,000 and I only get, 200 points. And then now what? Now I'm a conditional guy. I'm past champion, which gets me 4 tournaments.
Right.
But who knows where? There's guys in that category right now that people forgot are on tour, but they're in the past champion category because they don't get enough start. Like take a Ben Crane.
Right.
Ben Crane, he won 5 times. He played the tour forever. He's not even on tour. I mean, he's past champion tour, past champion status. He's got to play 5 events, and that's what's scary is you think about all those things during that period of time. Like, what the hell is going to happen in this amount of time? What am I going to do when I come back?
Right.
Am I going to support anything? And now, here I'm later, 4 years after that. I mean, we just went past the 4-year anniversary, and I've got incredible sponsors. I got PXG. I mean, I got a man behind me, which is my absolute idol in life.
Yeah.
William Murray, and I got Nanocraft and MGM. I mean, MGM stuck with me the whole time, with them forever. Lance Evans, and they're just amazing. And but it's incredible. Now that I've had enough time to think about it, I think about it every time I go down. Bro, I cannot believe that all that took place.
Yeah.
These are stories that media they just don't care about. People don't really care because they don't really understand it. Hopefully this story will kind of make people understand how hard medical is.
Yeah.
And the biggest regret I had, and I had a bunch of messages after I won the second time from guys that had surgery. Hey man, how'd you do it? And I told them, I went through it all with them. Like I told James Hahn, I said, bro, I went too long. I knew it was screwed up in Vegas, and I didn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
I kept going, and he was on the same training. He was like, man, I got this, that. I said, quit, go home. I said, I know you want to try to make some money in this and that, but I said, you're only going to hurt yourself in the future.
Yeah.
I said, go home and sit on it. And he sat the whole year, and he's come back now. He's actually, he's played pretty well. And there's nothing worse than trying to play through hurt. And I told him, I said, bro, I am the luckiest guy there is in the entire medical system that's gone through. I promise you, because I went 9 tournaments too far, and somehow I have surgery, and somehow I win 7 months later. I said, that doesn't happen. He goes, no, of course it doesn't happen. No one's done it. No one's done it. I mean, I can't even think of the last guy that's done it in the last, as long as I've been on tour, 20 years.
Right.
It just doesn't happen.
And
if
then
it is, I forgot about it, but
throw on one other layer to that. You knew the problem was in Vegas, which was, October-ish of 2015. And you get the surgery March of 2016.
Exactly.
You got married New Year's Eve.
Exactly.
At New Year's Eve. So not only do you have, the all those missed cuts. So you got the 8 missed cuts. You get married in between all of it, which we all know, anybody who's thinking about getting married, has gotten married, it's a crazy process in itself, not to mention the holiday season, et cetera, et cetera. But the game isn't right. The body's not right. I mean, you had everything working against you, and then it all falls apart with the surgery, and you're staring at the ceiling with your arm in a sling, cocktail in your hand, wondering, oh, God, this might be it.
What is going to happen? It was the most unbelievable year, of my life. I mean, it really was. It was the most just unbelievable turn of events in like a 9-month process. And I can't believe I'm sitting here now, I just can't believe it. I never thought that this day I would be sitting here now after, what's taken place the last 4 years. Who knows? I mean, you start thinking about jobs you want to do. Who am I going to call? Who am I going to call? Who am I going to? I'm qualified to do nothing. I'm literally qualified to be a garbage man. That's it. I mean, I'm not qualified to do anything. Shit, I don't have a degree. I don't have anything. I have nothing. So you start thinking like, okay, so you're a dumbass. You have nothing. You have no qualifications of any kind. What are you going to do? Do you know how to drive a truck? No, I don't even know how to drive a truck. I mean, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. I got nothing. So, I mean, it's bro. Let me tell you, it's a stressful time. It's real stressful out there. But it sucks.
Who would you who would have you called, and what would you have done in reality?
I probably would have called my boy Jay down here at Wright Toyota and Honda. I would have probably said, "Hey man, or Hal Earnhardt. I'm friends with two of the biggest car dealerships in town, so at least I could have maybe started there. Even though, why does everybody go into insurance? By the way, isn't that easy?
I mean, the thing is, all you have to do is make one sale in insurance, and then you have a book of business, and it's just an annuity that just keeps turning out money. Nobody switches insurance. That's why insurance is amazing.
Everybody we've known that's either quit playing or lost status. You don't even have to ask them what they do. You know what they do. They went into insurance. I saw Weedy a couple weeks ago. I'm like, what are you doing? He's, I'm insurance. Gore was insurance before he, Joel Overby. I mean, all these guys are in insurance. I can't figure out. Is it that easy? It can't be that easy.
It's pretty easy. It's one sale. All you got to do is sell one time, and then it's your little annuity forever. You got your book of business. You can sell that book.
I guess. They must think that because of the people they've met, in the game, that they can kind of start there and hopefully it'll snowball.
Yeah.
I don't think nobody would trust me enough. There's no way. There's no chance anybody would trust me enough with their business. There's no way. Anybody that knows me, there's no way. Oh yeah, let me have $2 million. No, we're closed. There's no way. Yeah, so I don't know, bro. It's a pretty cool story. It's when people hear it, like, holy smokes. Anybody that understands the medical, and anybody that understands how hard it is out here, to do is, they're pretty amazed by it because it just doesn't happen that often. It's not like Tiger. Tiger comes back. He can do whatever he wants. He's got $1 billion. He can come back and play or not play or whatever he wants. What's funny about that, because I was hoping he'd still be playing by this time.
Really?
We were kids. I met him at 8 years old.
You played against each other a ton, right?
Oh yeah, I played them since 8 years old. We always talk about, like, bro, what year is it now? I'm like, bro, 36 years now. 36 years know that guy. I mean, that's the thing about these kids and all that stuff. They know him, but I've known him as long as anybody because I've been around him. He's 3 months older than I am.
Yeah.
I've been around this guy. I've seen everything he's done. I actually sent him a message when he won in Japan. I said, bro, I can't tell you, what an honor it's been to have seen what you've done, being, the same age, and, people see from up and they've seen up, being the same age, it's different because you he's incredible, but you don't really look at him as an icon because you're the same age.
Yeah, he's your peer.
Like Jordan's my icon because he's older, and I watched him on TV, and I was a kid, and this and that. Tiger I've watched on the course the same time I was, so it's hard to not see him as an icon, even though he is, and he's the greatest thing, in my opinion, the sport's ever seen. But I told that, bro, I said, you have no idea. I said it's been an honor to watch you, do what you've done, and congrats on the 82. And I said, it's just an honor to know you and this and that. And he sent me a message back, and I can't wait for the 83. There's two. I told him a long time ago. I said, there's only two flags I want signed by him. It's the 83rd win and the 19th major. I just hope he gets the 19th. But I never thought he'd be playing this long. I thought he'd be done at like 38 because I thought he'd have 30 majors and, 100 wins and he would just disappear.
Yeah. So give me the breakdown. So you leave Vegas, they fly you down.
Yeah, we play the Pro-Am the next day at Shadow Creek.
Okay.
And then we leave that night. We leave at 5 o'clock that night, and it's it's like 4.5 hours to get there.
Yeah, and
another hour. So we get there at 2. We don't get to the hotel until like 2:30.
Right.
Tuesday morning. I tell H, I said, I'm not playing tomorrow. I'm not doing anything. We'll play the Pro-Am, and then we'll get moving. I actually got off to a slow start. I shot like 70 the first day, 69. We got in there, and I shot 62 the third round.
Yeah, 62 on Saturday, and you had 29 on the front.
Yeah. And then I'm playing with Woodland, and who the hell am I playing with? I'm playing free ball. Woodland is someone else.
Did you play?
Piercy.
Did you play? No, Piercy and Woodland were Sunday.
That was Sunday.
So who was Saturday?
I can't tell you. I don't remember. I never remember. H remembers everything. I can't remember anything. Whoever played with.
But you were tearing up that front nine because on Sunday you shot 31 on the front, and your putter was on fire. Your putter was on fire the whole week.
Yeah, the grass at Malaysia and Mayakoba are the same. I love that grass because it runs about 10 and a half, and you can be aggressive. And it's that pass palm that I love. I love that. So I'm bad on fast greens. And I'm just because I'm too aggressive. I just I like slow greens so I can bang it in. Maybe I should have played like 30 years ago. Business. But anyway, so we get off to Gary tees off and he hits it kind of in the rocks on the first hole, and I'm like, you know what? All the stuff that I've been thinking about, like I woke up Sunday morning and I just had this like focus on me. It was weird. It was totally different, more than anything I've ever dealt with. I wasn't nervous. I wasn't scared. I'm in the last group. I'm playing with Piercy, and I think me and Piercy were tied, and Woodland was one ahead of us. And I'm in there, I'm taking a shower, and I'm looking down, and I'm just thinking about the day going, there's no way this is not happening. Really? I don't know what it was. I just had him. I'm like, there's no way. So I told Ashley, I said, I came out of the shower, I go, put on something nice today. Look great. Because I said, I'm winning this bastard. I said, that's it. I said, there's no way I'm not winning it. I'm just not winning it. I'm just not winning it. So I'll tell you another funny story about that Mayakoba the year before in 15. So I'm still trying to play through, I'm hurt and this and that. And I get on 18. All you do is make par to make the cut. That's all you do is make par. Pull in the damn bunker, chip it out, hit a horrible wedge shot for like 20 feet. Missed the putt. Now I'm off for like 6 weeks. No money, no nothing. I come in that door at the room and I fired this fucking bag as much as and clubs went everywhere. And I was by myself, and I sat on the edge of that bed for like 20 minutes going, something's wrong. What are you going to do? I was just so pissed because things were not going the way they were. I just sat there. Yeah. And I made plans to go home, and funny enough, a year later, then I win. Wow. But I for some reason, I got on that tee and I go, I'm going for it. And I had so much fuel because nobody gave a shit about me when I was down. The sponsors dropped me. Nobody said I could do it. I'm 40, can't do it at 40, can't come back. And I said, you know what? I mean, I said it a different way, obviously, to myself, but I had this attitude every day. Every shot and every step I took was like, basically just F everybody. Yeah. It was that I had that mindset the whole week, really. Especially that day, I'm like, I'm not afraid of these guys. I'm not afraid of anything. What have I got to lose? I've already lost. Right. I've already lost everything. I have all gain. I'm going for them because every day I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm going for this shot. I'm going to pull this shot. I'm doing this shot. I'm making this putt, and everything I saw that morning just came true. That's unbelievable. And I wasn't nervous once. Wow. And did you see? You obviously Piercy, great ball striker. Woodland, unbelievable athlete. Woodland's unbelievable, but yeah, Woodland played, in my opinion, he played a little too defensive on that course. Woodland's driver is incredible. He drives it amazing. He's short game. I mean, he's a great player. Always has been. Great, phenomenal guy. I was so happy to see him win that U.S. Open last year. Incredible. But to me, he just played a little defensive, and I said, "Shit, I'm going for it." Yeah. I just went for it. I didn't care what was going to happen. I just went for it. And do you a lot of, and again, I would assume you don't, but you never know. Guys who play with Phil, guys who play with Tiger, guys who play with certain other, playing partners,
you're not playing against them, but when, you're in the final group on Sunday, you're kind of playing against them.
You're playing against them, yeah.
What
You're playing the course, you're playing against them because,
Right.
And when you say you're just playing the course, well, you have to factor in the other person. If he's putting for eagle and birdie all day, you better do the same.
Right.
You're not just playing I'm just playing the course. No, you're not. If he's making birdies, you better start charging.
Yeah.
I didn't have, for some reason that day, I didn't have to worry about how much I was going to make. I didn't think about the future. I didn't think about any status. I just thought about, I'm going to beat these guys today. I'm going to win this tournament. I'm going to hit the shots that are required. I'm not going to be scared of it. I'm going to hit it, and that's going to be the way it is.
That's amazing. So that night,
same way in Malaysia, same thing.
Yeah. So that night, it was just a mellow dinner, which is so unlike you. I know you had a 4 a.m. wake up, but
I was so wiped. I was so worn out. It's so hot down there. I was so worn out, and I partied so much that weekend in Vegas. But I was just sitting there. Basically, we just sat there. I had a steak. We had a nice glass of wine, and I was just thinking. I was like, the weight of the world was lifted off me. It was one of those things where I'm just thinking, going, oh my God.
Yeah.
Can't believe what's just happened. I've got basically a 3-year exemption now because it's so early in the season.
Right, you get to go.
I have everything coming. I got Century coming up. I'm going to be in the match play. I'm going to be in Augusta. I'm going to be in all these things. I'm like, this is unbelievable. This is literally unbelievable. And I just I couldn't believe it. So I wasn't even in the mood to get hammered. And then when I got home, I was more in that mood. But it was.
You took the next week off, right?
Yeah, I didn't play RSM. I went home the whole time. Then we went to Maui, and I think that's where I saw you.
Yep.
We went played McKenna for a couple of days, and I finished third there.
Yep.
So I was still leading the FedEx, which is unbelievable. But as long as I let it. But yeah, that was an unbelievable turn of events, and then go through another 9 months, and then win in Malaysia.
Yeah. And
twice in 11 months.
Yeah. And then
for some guys it's normal. For me, it definitely was not normal. It took me, 15, 16 years to actually get a win back-to-back years. Which, back-to-back weeks, he was pissed. So it was. It's been an unbelievable turn of events the last 4 years for sure. I didn't think it was going to happen that late in life, but
So did you think? What was it, March 8th, you said was the surgery date? March 8th, 2016. Did you think that 2 years later you would be 16th in the world as a professional golfer?
I was hoping not to be 16,000 in the world. I was just hoping to actually be able to swing a club again. I mean, 16 in the world. Yeah, I went on an unbelievable run there for, what helped me is because I didn't play all those tournaments. And then I came back, and when you get a 7th in a win, it takes you up the top, and then I finished 3rd. And then I finished I finished 4th at Torrey. I had an unbelievable run through Malaysia that I won.
Yeah.
And it was I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe the shit was coming in. Offers from, around the world. We want you here. We want you. I said, you sure you got the right guy? Me? You're going to pay me that to show up? Wow. It was if you talk about free money, I know what they were talking about now with free money, because it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. But it was an amazing, it really was an amazing year and a half.
Yeah.
And after I won Malaysia, that's why I told Ashley, I said, find us a house. I said, find us a house. We're finally in a position now. I'm 43 at the time, or 42 at the time. I said, I've got a 3-year exemption. That takes me all the way till 45.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time I get, even if I ran out of stats, I'm still going to hit my 300 cuts. So that gets me another year. This thing now prolongs me another year. So basically I have stats on 47.
It's amazing.
So if I want to chill for 3 years, fine. Our FedEx plan kicks in, but that's fine. That takes me to 50. I'll play maybe 5-7 years out there, bring the family out. I only got to play 16 events. I'm exactly where I wanted to be at this time.
That's incredible.
44, exactly. I'd like to win more. I would love to actually get on a team at, eventually this and that. And, everybody wants those things. But, and I tell you what's shitty out there is people go, oh, well, you're not that successful. You've only won 3 times. Well, try it once.
Yeah.
Try to get on a tour. Okay?
Right.
Try to make a cut.
Yeah.
And then put your balls on the line on a Sunday and try to win. and then try to do a 3. Well, Tiger's won 18. Well, no kidding. Okay, we know that. Phil's won 46. We get these things, okay?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's easy.
Right.
That doesn't mean you're talking about the
exceptions.
You're talking about the greatest guy that's ever touched a golf club in the history of the game,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to try to compare that to everybody else. You can't do it.
Yeah.
You can't do it. You know, you're not the best salesman, so you suck. Okay, well, you know, there's 10 million salesmen out there, so you know it's unfortunate that you kind of get, well, you're not. To me, success is that I've always been able to provide for my family. I've never had to sell my house. I've never had to, you know, sell things to get by. Everybody's always been provided for. You know, if you're doing that, I think that is what success is.
Absolutely.
Whether or not you win, you know, every week or not, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I've been able to provide everything I've needed to for my family forever.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, people have different levels of success. Would I like to be Tiger? Of course. Who the hell wouldn't?
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to win every other week? I mean, of course I want those things. It's not that easy.
Yeah.
Day and age, it's really not that easy. These kids are unbelievable now. I mean, they are so good. It's actually, I told you, it's awesome to watch. It's hard to beat them. It really is.
How has the game changed since you were a rookie to today in terms of early wins and just guys getting victories early on in their career?
It's way different. You know, like when Tiger left at 20, we were all in school. And he's like, I'm leaving. I'm going to tell him, like, how the hell can you go to the tour? These guys are great. How the hell can you go there? You can't go there because nobody left. You know, nobody left. Everybody played out their college days, and then they left. You know, the average age on tour at that time was like 35, 36. I think now it's under 30.
Wow.
Which is amazing. So when Tiger left, we're like, man, is he really leaving? You know, he's unbelievable, but these guys are pros. These guys are really good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when he left, man, you talk about monumental news. I mean, that was incredible. And now it's like second nature. You know, the kids that are 14, they're already trying to get on tour and playing tour events and this and that. And obviously, you know, everything that's happened since 1997, basically 96, is because of Tiger. It's the only thing. Nobody has changed the game. You know, Phil and what he's done, and even, you know, Furyk and BJ and all these guys, you know, it's just, it doesn't hold a candle. It just doesn't, you know, and it's unfortunate that everyone's always, you know, is trying to say, well, you know, who's the next Tiger? There's never going to be next one. Anybody that's like 4 years old and above right now will never see another guy that has ever done what he's done. It's just impossible because now everybody's so good at a different age. He was so much better than us when we were, you know, 10 and 15 and 20 and 25 and then 30.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the runs he went on. And now, you know, because of his body not being as where he wants it to, he's just not as dominant as he was. So now you're seeing the Rorys and, you know, all these other kids that are coming up. Doesn't mean he's not the greatest, but, you know, it's just unrealistic to think that he's going to be dominant again in this era. You know, he was dominant for all those times, and I don't know. I don't know if his body can handle it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's what it is. And, you know, he's also a different period. He's kind of like me now. He loves his kids. He loves being a father. He can't wait to do things. He's just in a different – he can't practice and do things like he used to.
Gotcha.
You know, he used to grind all day and night. You know, all it was golf and him and this and that, and that's why, you know, he was there. I just think I think he thinks about it different.
Yeah.
The win in Zozo was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible. I mean, he played unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, and then all of a sudden he goes in a stretch where he can't move anymore. And, you know, that's what's scary. That's what's scary. But that's what, you know, he said 100 times. You know, he's on, you know, his back is whatever it is. But, you know, these kids are ready now. But Tiger has paved that way. He showed everybody that this work ethic and working out and practicing and this and that. And now you've got all these kids that are on TrackMan at 10 years old, 15 years old, in college. Everybody works this thing. They've got this all dialed in. Well, Tiger was a TrackMan because he could tell you everything he needed to do and how the ball was going to fly and pick his shots and how he wanted to much better than anybody else.
Yeah.
He was a human TrackMan. But these kids now are learning how to hit it high and far. I didn't learn that way. I learned to hit it down because we had a ball that spun. I actually played a wood driver in high school.
Really?
That's what we had. We had wood drivers in high school. And then that little TaylorMade driver came out, which looks like looks like a 9-wood now today. You know, we didn't learn to hit it up because you tried to hit it up, it would spin too much. But now these kids with the balls and the equipment's going on, they've learned how to maximize every club in their bag. And they're just really good. I mean, they really are. They're athletes now, which we weren't. We weren't athletes. Tiger was the only athlete back in the day. And we thought it was fun to drink and hang out and do nothing. Oh, we're making some money and this and that. Well, this guy's out, winning every week and, making $1 billion. We just thought it was cool just to be on tour and hang out.
Yeah.
It was way different.
What was your first round as a professional with Tiger?
When the hell did we play? I think we played at Bay Hill. We played on Sunday. So, of course, I couldn't wear red and white, right? And, it was actually kind of fun because I was so excited to play with him because, I obviously know him forever, but it's so different to play with him. And we were like this all day. We walked all day just like this. I wore all white. I looked like a painter. White hat, white shirt, white pants. So I'm like, I can't look like him. I can't wear red. I can't wear black. I'm not going to look like him. I'm going to wear the opposite. I show up. He goes, "What the hell are you wearing?" I go, "I can't wear red and white." It was pretty funny. I got pictures of it, which is pretty cool. But that's, there's a lot of guys, can you think about, especially now, there's a lot of guys that will never play with him.
Right.
Because it's just limited tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not in that tournament and you don't get near him on the leaderboard, you're just never going to get that opportunity to play with him. And I've been lucky. I've gotten enough times to play with him now. And, he did tell me, though, this might be a secret. Maybe he doesn't want to know, but I said, "You ever think about playing the champ tour, ever in your mind?" He goes, "There's only one tournament I want to win." And he goes, "I want to win the U.S. Senior Open. Because then I would have every trophy that they give out, and no one's ever done it."
Wow.
I said, "Now, bro, that would be something." I said, "That would be something." I said, "You got to do it. You got to at least try it.
Absolutely.
You gotta at least try it a couple times. I don't even care if you can't play it."
Yeah.
I said, "Just try it." I said, "Give it a couple of years. You obviously will be qualified to get in." I said, "Go do it. Why wouldn't you? Don't wake up at 60 and go, 'Damn, I wish I'd have tried that at 51, 52.
Yeah.
Because that's literally something that will never be broken.
Is winning every major.
Everything that the USGA pass out.
Gotcha. Oh, because he won
U.S.
Public
Junior,
Links, Junior.
USAM. He won the U.S. Amateur,
Uh-huh.
U.S. Open, and then U.S. Senior.
Wow.
That would be unbelievable.
That's amazing.
But yeah, it's pretty incredible. But it's pretty incredible.
So what you're saying is we just need to do a little bit of math and figure out what tournaments those are going to be, because it'll be when he's 50, 51, 52, 53.
It'll be our age. So whenever it'll be in 6 years from now. So
yeah.
2026. And I would have him. I hope the USJ. It would be cool if they had him at Pebble. One for Pebble.
Yeah.
And where he's won.
Where he's won
well.
Right.
Give him the best
one at
chance.
Torrey.
Yeah, Torrey. Give him the best chance. Play it That's one thing I can't wait for the Champ Tour is the length. 700 yards shorter.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that.
I mean, when you turn 50 and start playing that tour, you are going to destroy.
I can't wait.
Competition.
Now, this is the other thing. If I actually have status, if I continue to play like this for the next 6 years, I have status at 50, I'm going to still play the tour.
Right.
I'm not going to the Champ Tour until I absolutely have to.
Gotcha.
And that's kind of like what VJ did. VJ kind of told me about that is he had status all the way through, and he wanted to play and play and play and play, and then finally he's like, I'm going.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm going. So that's kind of what, like Davis Love, he's like, I'm going to play out here. Why the hell would I go out there for $2.5 million? I'm going to play out here for 10.
Yeah.
So
makes perfect sense.
But it's it's going to be fun either way. Hopefully I just want to stay healthy. That's the whole thing. That's what HR says. Just stay healthy. And it's hard. Like last year I tore my ankle or tore my calf and I missed the same amount of time at the same time last year.
Because you thought it was a torn Achilles, right?
Yeah. This has been a bad stretch for me. I've missed in 3 years. I've missed 3 separate years. I've missed the same amount of time from March to June. 3 separate times now. The surgery I had on my shoulder. I tore my calf last year, and now this year.
That's right.
These are not my kind of months.
No.
These are not for me.
March does not agree with you.
No, March through June is just not good. I don't know why, but
I will say publicly, I still owe you massive thank yous for everything you've done for me.
I wouldn't do it unless I didn't love you.
And you set it up for those that don't know. He was the intro and entree for me to meet JJ Dudum and Mike Melman, and be a part of the whole Discoveryland company ecosystem, which has been such an enjoyable experience for me. I've met so many great friends and awesome human beings.
It's a hell of a circle. I'll tell you, it's the circle of the world, is what it is, really.
And it's really changed my life, and we always joke about it, but it's all because of you. So
I'm glad you're in and I'm out. I can't even get through the gate anymore. You're flying down private to go stay at his house. You can't even call me back. It is quite funny though. I need to be perfect for it though. I need to be perfect. Maybe you can take me down there one day when you buy a house.
Hey, whatever you need. I just want a couple pairs of those shoes back there. I see that rack of 11s right there. That's my that's my jam. I'm all about the 11s.
I got 11s. I got more on the floor. I'm trying to.
Can you show us the whole rack? Can you show me the whole rack here?
Yeah, well, I got this rack in here. I'm trying to sort through these because my closet's already full. These are all the 5 golf shoe.
Oh, sweet.
There's my 4. There's some other ones, but I'm trying to get.
How many pairs is that? 200?
No, there's like 450 in here right now.
What?
And I've got another 66 in my other closet, but I'm trying to make space because there's another box of clothes. There's like 300 pieces there. I got to go sort through. But yeah,
that's amazing.
Unbelievable. So I got all the low ones on the bottom, and then I got all my 34s on this, and then I start with the ones here. All the ones across, and then 3, 4.
I love the 4s. 4s were always cool to me.
4s on. Did you see the Air Max? See these ones that came out?
Oh, dope. Dope.
Yeah, these are awesome.
Yeah, the 4s just always. The 11s and 4s are my favorite.
All the Travis Scotts.
Can I see a Travis Scott's?
Which one? Here's the 6.
Dope.
1. This was the original one that came out.
I can't do your fingers over the.
Where's the camera anyway? No, it's right there. Low 1.
Sick. Yeah.
1, 6, 33 olive, and then the 4. So I was watching this show. Have you ever seen this Generation Cool? This show on TV?
Yeah, with Slobby Robbie or whatever.
Yeah, I forgot who's run this thing. So I called down there and I had this one and this one. And I called out because these guys think they're so cool with their collection of stuff. I called out and I said, "Hey, bro," I said, "What would you guys pay for the 33 olive and the Scott one?" He goes, "Well, how did you get it?" I said, "Well, it doesn't matter how I got it." I said, "I have it." He goes, "Well,
because they think they're fake."
Well, of course. He goes, "You're gonna have to send us a picture, or bring them in." I go, "Just aside all that, what would you pay for? It doesn't matter if I have them or not. Just what would you pay for them? We got to see them." I said, "Bro, just give me a number. Just give me a number." He goes, "Oh, we got to see them." I said, "You know what? You guys are clowns." I said, "You're not even worth the time. I'm not calling you back." Not that I was going to sell them. I just wanted to see.
Yeah, you want to see the market value.
Yeah. So like those Dior's that I got coming, those are already on the market for like 28,000.
Jesus.
Because they only made 1,850 pairs. The shoe market, bro, it's literally amazing. It's absolutely incredible. But I never thought something like this would happen. I never thought all these would come my way.
I mean, again, can you imagine you as a kid, just mid-90s, and if somebody told you could have that shoe rack?
Bro, I would have taken one pair.
Yeah.
I mean, I would take it one. I mean, I've gotten over 700 pairs of shoes in the last 2 years. And there's like another 200 coming this year.
Amazing. I
mean, we hope, but that's the plan, obviously. But then, all the 5 golf shoes are coming in different colors now. And, I mean, it's something. I texted him yesterday. Actually, I'm going to send you this picture right now. You won't believe this. See if you can figure out whose daughter or whose kid this is. This will scare you. This will scare you. Come on, go through. It's taking so long. There it goes. Any idea whose kid that is?
Oh my God.
Is that unbelievable?
So cute. Oh my God.
Wait, any chance that's not mine?
Adorable. I mean, again,
I
she's
sent it to MJ. I said, whose kid is this? Obviously, I sent it to him with all the clothes because I always do.
right. I mean,
But
she's so adorable. I follow, you and your wife on Instagram, and it's just,
she's the story queen.
Piper's just incredible, though. Just
Yeah,
so cute.
it's awesome. So we just got her all a bunch of new, Nike Air Maxes, and I just got her like 12 pairs of shoes she's finally starting to wear shoes now, where she can walk around.
Right.
So, like I said, these are things that I probably would have missed, from playing. Because this is
Totally.
it's such a busy time of the year right now to
Yeah.
play. So,
Well, man, thank you so much for being on. I appreciate it. Your story's unbelievable. Your personality always has just been such a shining light, for everybody that knows you. And, the golf world is just lucky to have you as a part of it.
I'm lucky, but I'll take it. I keep them on their toes.
And
Nobody exempted out there. They all get action.
and to watch you win at Mayakoba was incredible, especially knowing the story and now getting the details behind it. It's just even that much more impactful. So thank you for sharing, man. And so good to see your face. Enjoy the time off. And if you want to send me those shoes, I'll send you my address in a little bit.
You do that. Next time you go to Cabo, make sure you exclude your friend.
See you, bud.
All right, brother.
Thanks again. I appreciate it.
Got it.
Late.
All right, homie. See ya. Bye.
Late.